Coming to you guys live once again here from Rainbow Six HQ. It is time for our final match of the night at USN. Veli's with me, of course, once more, and we have got quite a final match. DarkZero, who managed to beat out Parallax Gaming in their rematch earlier over on Clubhouse, is going to be going up against Shrug, who surprised everyone with their victory going up against Rise Nation in our last matchup on Consulate. It's going to take us into our final match now, where those two teams will face off against each other for the first slot in the Eastern Conference qualifier for Stage 3.
Yep, we've been given a treat today with some amazing gameplay, but ladies and gentlemen, listen, if you like money, make sure you go ahead and submit your clips tonight for Venmo, because Blue, you give them the rundown. We're giving out $700. You guys do not want to miss this.
$700 every week, in fact, is what we're giving away, so don't miss your opportunity. Get a clip. It just has to be Rainbow Six related. It doesn't have to be from this stream. It can be from your own, a friend's, maybe your favorite community content creator. Make sure you create that clip and make sure to post it with the hashtag that we have right here below at the hashtag Venmo Community Spotlight. And most importantly, make sure you post it at the link that we're going to be putting on the screen right about now over here at esl.gg/Venmo-R6USN. That link has all the necessary rules and information for the contest, as well as the link to submit your clips to us, where we will be picking the winners for each week right after the Thursday stream here, guys. So make sure you submit those clips before the end of the stream now, or you will risk the cutoff and we'll have to move you to next week's contest. $500 for the winner, though, so definitely don't miss that one. That's from our friends at Venmo.
Yep, shout out to Venmo, but you know what? Yeah, for those of you at home, don't slack on this, because after this entire stream, after we get off the Uber ride, get into our hotel room, our apartment, I'm just going to go over clips. So if it's not submitted, listen, we'll see you next time. It could be funny. It could be clutch plays, anything out there that will catch our eyes. Make sure you go ahead and submit that immediately. But if you like the games that we have provided you so far, make sure you join the discussion utilizing hashtag R6USN on social media. Also, make sure you sign up for the qualifier this weekend. It's free to enter. It's at play.r6nationals.com. You, too, can be in the position that Shrug is in, a team that probably didn't expect much at all, and now they're playing in the final game of the night against DarkZero. This is amazing. I love tonight's stream.
It's really incredible. And we've had obviously like quite the barnstorming performance here from Shrug, but now the question is it going to be enough to take down DarkZero, who obviously did very well in their own game, of course.
So before the stream started up during the break, I told the producer in Blue, I said, you know what? I hope Shrug wins. I think Shrug has what it takes. They're like, nah. They denied him. You know what? I'm rooting for the underdog. And either way, I hope we still get the great clutches and plays that we saw throughout the entire night, but it's still going to be a great matchup overall.
I personally don't think it'll happen. I won't be like hugely surprised if it will, or if it does.
Cool if it happens.
Because it's like USN after all, right? Like, how many times have we had these upsets happen?
To DarkZero too.
Yeah, to DarkZero specifically. So it's definitely in the cards. I would just say it's unlikely personally, but who knows? We'll have to see. Like I said, a lot of firepower, especially on players like Mexican and Cloudstruck. They're gonna be dangerous moving into this game, especially if DarkZero is not able to deal with them. But the thing is, DarkZero also has some fraggers to bring into this one, too.
You're right.
Most notably, you've got the Clutch that came in there from Mint in the last game. And you had Hot and Cold, who was on a number in their Clubhouse game, too. And it's probably going to be able to continue that.
Yep, let's go and take a look at the roster. Starting off with the first team is going to be DarkZero, a notable professional league team. It's going to be Mint, BC, Hot and Cold, Hyper, and Nyx. So this roster, we've seen them time and time again. A successful team. And they've had a bit of a hard time here on USN in the best one format. They haven't been able to pull out a lot of wins, especially against Tier 2 and Tier 3 teams. So hopefully they could overcome those odds against Shrug. Let's go ahead and take a look at their roster once more. Now loading Cloudstruck, Mexican Nugs, and also Wrath.
And of course, if you've been following them in CL, you'll note that Flynn is missing from this list, but that is because, well, he's Canadian, and he does not have a U.S. visa. And as such, he cannot play in USA.
We don't like that kind. We don't like their kind. Get your visa, Flynn.
Get your visa, Flynn. Get over here.
Yeah, so, serious question. Flynn casted at U.S. Nationals 2018 at the final land. If, for some reason, Shrug makes it, does Flynn try to get the visa to play? Or does he just cast?
Would he be allowed to play?
Can he play and cast?
Would he be allowed to play if he didn't play in the qualifiers?
Yeah.
I guess, right? Because it would be like a roster change from like Ubisoft side. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Let's take a look at the map that we're going to play on tonight. It is going to be
Cafe. All right, changing it up a little bit here. We've got a couple cafes in USN so far, but it's a bit rarer compared to our normal what we usually end up with is just like clubhouses all night long, and maybe a consulate or a bank or something like that.
I feel like this is a really good pick for both teams. Kafe, I think it's going to be good for DarkZero because of just, their gameplay together as a team. Their drone work is obviously there. The intel they gather all around, they play as a unit, clear out rooms quite easily. But also on Shrug is the unpredictability that they're also going to bring. You saw the rotations, especially after every kill. They love to keep teams guessing. Are they going to be able to do that to DarkZero on attack and defense? That's going to be the biggest question to me in this matchup.
Still a newer map, too, so more room for teams to run into things they may not expect necessarily. Obviously, the map itself, the physical map, is relatively old, but this revision of it just recently put in a couple of months ago, so some teams may still be getting used to certain parts of the map if they didn't play it a lot while it was off of the primary rotation of comp maps.
So DarkZero, we've seen them in these matchups throughout the entirety of USN, and they always have an issue to where once they start code, it takes them a while to warm up. But it's all subjective. Like, when we saw them against Space Station Gaming, they never really got into their groove. And that's been their biggest issue. It comes to consistency. When they're all clicking, they're a phenomenal team, one of the best out there in NA. But when not, anybody can beat them, it seems like. Parallax Gaming beats them. They've lost to a lot of other teams here in the qualifiers, on the weekend qualifiers, so to say. So if Shrug brings that aggression early and starts racking up wins early, that will be phenomenal for them. I want to see them really kick things up with a lot of heat.
We missed two, I think, or I personally missed two, is on which side as well, so we'll have to see how that pans out. Because for Shrug anyway, I think personally that's going to be a big part of it. Their attacks still look good looking at the previous matchup here, but I definitely think this is a team that's going to be able to do a lot better early on if they get that defensive start and can kind of play those more aggressive setups that we were seeing them do, like specifically the one that they were doing back on basement there looked really strong, and I'm eager to see if they can pull off more stuff like that on Kafe here.
Yep. With a map like Kafe, I wonder if we're going to see a lot more trap operators coming in from Shrug as well. We saw them with a lot of great mods they play when it comes to hacking drones with a great succession rate. Sorry, it's like 5 a.m. and going off 1 hour of sleep. But are they going to be able to contain the entire map when it comes to DarkZero whenever they enter the site or whenever they're defending? So, I mean, it's a lot of questions. We won't have any answers yet. But as we get the game loaded up and getting prepared to start off, who do you really want to see kick things up for DarkZero in this matchup? We saw Hot and Cold, we saw Mint. BC had performances every other round or so where, he came up with a big 2K. Who do you really want to see pick things up?
Personally, I don't think we saw all that much looking at the performance from the last one. I don't think we saw that much from players like Hyper and whatnot. We're a little bit more quieter, so maybe a bit more from him. But personally, if we see the same performance out of DarkZero and mainly Hot and Cold along with Mint are still able to perform to the degree that they were in the last match, that's, in my opinion, that's probably still going to be good enough for them to be able to knock out Shrug.
But this is the thing, DarkZero, they allowed a lot of big plays to come from players like Blarn and whatnot, and Glamoji, whenever it came to 2Ks and 3Ks, that can happen against this team. Because even though Parallax Gaming, after they got those 2Ks and 3Ks, they still gave up the rounds, Shrug didn't do that. Shrug didn't let go, and they didn't just rely on one player to do that. So can they play against 5 players that have that type of play style? I don't know.
We'll have to find out, and we're hopefully going to be finding out in just a couple of seconds here, guys. I think we're just waiting on a few more players to join the lobby, going off the screen there that's behind our cameras. So I think that is the cause of delay, and of course we do apologize for that, but we'll be jumping into this matchup as soon as we have everyone joined up and ready to start this match. As usual, it is going to be a best of 1, guys, so and to once again explain the format here, the winner tonight does not qualify for the LAN itself.
Nope.
It's a bit of an extended format here at USN, but it will give the team that wins this evening a bit of a break. They'll be able to take the next 3 weeks off, and following that one, then we'll see them play again, because at that point we will enter a separate bracket known as the Conference Qualifier. In this case, they'll be in the East Coast Conference Qualifier. That is 4 teams involved in it. It is single elimination, so you have to be very careful working your way through from that point forward. But if you make it all the way to the end of that bracket and win the final matchup, then you qualify for LAN, and of course then you get quite a bit longer of a break.
Yep, and if you're new to USN and how the format works, so make sure you tune in every Monday, especially on YouTube. We drop videos with full recaps about what's been going on throughout the entirety of USN, starting from stage 1 all the way until now. And to catch you guys up while we get this game started, and trust me, Blue and I, we want to get this game started right now. We're waiting on the players, so blame them. We have 4 teams that are currently qualified within the first 2 stages, stages 1 and 2. Right now, we're in stage number 3. We're going to have 2 more players qualified for LAN, 1 for East, 1 for West. Then we have the wild card. That's it. We don't have much time left. So make sure you sign up for these tournaments. Make sure you win because, hey, we still have a lot of good teams left. We've said it. EG. We have Luminosity. Luminosity, unfortunately, had to forfeit on Tuesday, but we will see them back this weekend and hopefully next week.
Yep. Reminder, guys, again, as Veli was just saying, there's only 3 more open cups left to qualify through a standard stage, which is what we are within right now. So make sure you sign up. The next one starts on Saturday, just about 2 days' time. So make sure you're getting those signups in. After that, you'll only have the wild card to qualify, and that is basically one of these tournaments that we've been playing every week. It's a single separated one for each region, and it's basically winner take all. Whoever makes it through that bracket qualifies for LAN. No questions asked.
So, Blue, so far, what has been your favorite matchup throughout this entire year of USN?
This entire year of USN, probably that last one we just had right there, to be honest with you. As that was a lot of fun, to be sure. We just got our community vote results in. You've heard enough of what we think of this matchup. Now it's time to see what you guys thought of this one. And quite a few of you still have hope in DarkZero to be able to close this one out. You're not convinced that Shrug is going to be able to pull off the upset just yet. But 21% of you seem to think that's going to happen. And we'll find out if that's going to be the case right now, guys, because here we go. DarkZero versus Shrug, our final matchup of the night for the first spot in the East Coast Stage 3 conference qualifier for USN. Let's get into it.
Good. Keep them as underdogs, man. Make them want to fight for that win. You don't want to jinx them. You don't want to give them all the credit yet. And let's hope that this isn't a one-sided matchup like we saw the first game of the day when DarkZero went ahead and beat Parallax Gaming. So, Shrug, they're going to have their first ban here on Kafe, and it's going to be Jackal, rightfully so. It fits them perfectly.
So Jackal, of course, is aligning with usual meta trends right now. An aggressive anti-roamer that can hunt them down. We don't want to have to deal with that on the defense, so let's get rid of it. Shrug also on defense in DarkZero.
Yes! Yes!
You hate to see that. That's going to be a target ban. DarkZero still having a little bit of fun, it seems. Mira will be our first defender ban.
He said, oh no, Max. Like, I wonder, like, Mexican's emotion after he saw that target ban.
We saw that. It was just 4 dots, apparently.
That's amazing.
That was a real Nani moment.
Yeah, Mira obviously banned along with Echo. Mira, she's a pain to deal with on the top floor. Almost unstoppable to attack when she's in place. So Echo being banned is pretty much a given to 2 Yokai drones, the ACOG site with the silencer. He is an amazing defender. Okay.
And we lost hot and cold. So we're probably going to jump out of game here in a second, guys, as I'm assuming they will call for a rehost. And we'll wait for him to get reconnected real quick. So apologies for that, folks. We're going to work on getting him back in. They're all in the same house, so I think it was just his computer or something having a quick little glitch. So we'll just work on refreshing that, getting him back into the game, and we should be able to restart this relatively quickly.
I hope they lose the first round now.
In fact, he is back already.
Oh, he's back?
So I think we're going to jump back into this pretty quickly, looking at what I can see behind us. Anyway, we'll see.
Blue is peeking into the production room. I hope so.
Not supposed to look back.
Right, like all of this excitement coming from the last game, like I'm still on an adrenaline high. I don't want to come down from it. All right, here we are. Map. I was gonna say map number 1. The only map in the best of 1 series between Shrug and DarkZero here on Kafe. Shrug starting things off on defense and DarkZero on attack. Let's see what happens. Historically, we see the defending team start off really strong on this map. Especially this map, attacking is really hard, especially on the second floor, because there's only so many ways to enter. So it's extremely predictable, not a lot of surprises.
So they put Mexican, obviously, of course, having to go into a little bit of a different play style this time. We'll see that change up even more so on the attack. He's going to jump onto the Maestro, which is actually going to be, in my opinion, a great spot to put him in. With the new way that this map works, this little wall he can sit behind right here, which I've just started calling Maestro spot, to be honest, because Maestro is always there. He can just rip players apart trying to push from Cigar, and there's very little you can do unless you do some crazy cross-angle work to get rid of him, or at least use a lot of utility to get rid of him.
Yeah, I love the fact that Han Code is going to be on IQ, not only for the fact that it's operated really fast and really good when it comes to cracking out, but you know what? She's going to be valuable when it comes to getting rid of the Valk cams. With the stun grenade currently going in, Hyper is going to be on this drone and looking to his right. Yep, he's able to spot out a defender. Another flashbang coming through. Yeah, he's going to try to work in on this frag right here. But I'm pretty sure that there's another player on Shrug that's watching and waiting for this trade or this stop as the kill tries to come in for not loading.
Hyper still waiting for his opportunity to jump in, but he won't need it. As Hot and Cold starts us off strong once again. Hyper following it up as well with a second kill for his team. That's going to be Wrath along with not loading, gone from the game very early on here. And that means the remaining 3 from Shrug going to be under even more pressure deeper in the site.
All right, 2 great kills coming in from DarkZero Esports as we're now at 1 minute and 50 seconds. A lot of time left, but not a lot of members left for Shrug. It's 2 dropped almost immediately. thanks to the entry kills coming in from DZ. Now you have Maestro, Valkyrie, and also Smoke. Two really good anchors. Smoke with the Toxic Babes and Maestro with the Evil Eyes and also the Alda. It's going to be really hard to get in close to him. Behind Code is currently hunting for the Valk cams. I'm not sure how many he got so far, but Ash is going to be in sight.
He's pinging him. There you go. There's one.
You have it.
So they're going to be able to find the one hiding behind the Christmas tree. That'll give DarkZero a little bit more security to be able to push forward into places like Cigar and then eventually out into the bar area here. You can see Maestro trying to find an angle to peek from, but Heat 2 is being very cautious as he knows what is on the line here. If he over-peeks and potentially gives the angle away to his opponents, he's got a very safe spot to play it from, but even then, there's still areas where he can be exposed and quickly headshot out. So he's got to be very careful. Also considering, too, that the other two players on his team were spread out pretty far. Cloudstruck, in fact, still downstairs right now. So
perfect for him. He has the ability to come up on the flank, but you know what? I'm going to have to give DarkZero a lot of respect. They're not buying into the aggression that we've seen Shrug have in the previous map. They're taking their time, playing it slowly, even though that they're up by 2 players still. But it's going to be up to Cloudstruck to really make a difference here on this flank on the floor underneath.
30 seconds left here now for DarkZero to make their push happen. They are trying to drone everything out before they commit to it. This is not hesitation caused by opponents, it's hesitation caused by a lack of intel. Now they're going to be able to move in, deal with that first Evil Eye. Mexican won't be able to find one, but he's quickly traded out by Hyper. Nugs, however, hiding in the corner of the back site, is able to trade out once more, taking down Hyper and leaving DZ with only 3 players left standing. Time also incredibly low, but Mint will find Nugs before he can sneak up. However, oh no, he's just off the mark! Cloudstruck so close to finding the impact necessary. Wow. He will be able to get a headshot off onto Hot and Cold, but he'll run right out against another player from DZ on new balcony here, and Mint will strike last to put DarkZero on the board first.
So unfortunate, Cloudstruck almost made magic happen once again from the floor underneath in the clutch scenario. It was a 1v3, he was able to get the Deagle headshot, but he missed a shot on the guy that was putting down the diffuser. If he was able to get that kill, the round would have went to Shrug, despite them being down 2 players within the first minute. So DarkZero with a great win. I love the entry and the work that they had on not loading. Not loading, I was expecting another player on this team to pretty much have his back when it came to protecting him, but he was just... He was revealed, it was way too open over near Piano, and it was just an easy kill for DarkZero. Hyper came in right behind him to get the double kill, and hey, they steamrolled right through it. Great dominance from DarkZero, and great entry over there in Christmas Piano area.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
All right, guys, so into the next round we go. Shrug going to continue to move through the sites despite the fact that they have upstairs still available to them. They don't like the relatively one-sided nature that played out towards, so they'll head back downstairs into the fireplace reading room instead.
All right, Mexican, he's going to be on a slower up this time around. It's going to be Maestro. We usually see him extremely aggressive, but hey, a little change of pace coming from him. It's going to show the type of versatility that he provides to his team. Now loading with the Valk cam, pretty decent one so far, but it's going to be easy to see once somebody mans it because of that bright light, especially with that brown background.
Also the IQ, of course, too. Yeah. So those cameras are probably going to go away the second IQ walks past them.
They're not going to have any use at all. But you know what? As long as it wastes time and they're able to get a pick in the process, Shrug will be in good standing. So, DarkZero, let's see what happens. Nyx is going to be on Ash, and with his G360, we've seen him put in a lot of work. It's interesting. A lot of people were expecting... Well, a lot of people question the use of the G360 with the ACOG sight, especially with the R4C is arguably the best gun in the game, but he doesn't care. He made the switch and he's extremely successful, especially without the R4.
So Hot and Cold will start droning back in through Christmas now as well. Same approach, generally speaking, from DZ that we're going to see out of the last round. They're going to try and take Christmas first and move from there. I think they probably would have thought that this would have gone upstairs again, but won't be too much of an adjustment that needs to be made to play into a downstairs site either. As you can see, Hyper looking to take control from outside on the terrace.
One thing about Cloudstruck last round, one thing that questioned me when there was a 2v3 up top, I was expecting him to make a really fast flank to help out his teammates. Instead, he tried to use verticality to his advantage, trying to shoot through the floors, and it made no difference at all. He almost got the clutch. Like I've said, always hindsight is 20/20. But I would have loved to see him in the action way faster than what we saw. But IQ is going to ping out that Valk cam, and it's going to be shot out quite easily by Nyx. As he's going to own this mining room area going in a train. Oh, with the rotation, he almost got the pick, and with the pre-fire is unable to connect. And yeah, Nyx almost went down.
Hyper He's going to be able to find the first strike here, able to knock out not loading. That's DZ with the man advantage, but very low time. Hyper catches a jump out from Mexican and takes him down. That's 5v3 now. Hyper holds his own here. Does great work again. DarkZero gets this advantage and is very calm despite only having a minute left to work with here. They think they have plenty of control, and to be honest, they do. So there's no reason to stress this right now.
New round, same story. DarkZero able to drop 2 players almost immediately. But Maestro out the game, that's going to be a huge blow with Shrug because nobody's going to be able to man the Evil Eyes. But Ravs has something to say as he just clocks Hyper, taking out the Ash player.
Comes upstairs and is able to find that one relatively easily. They don't expect another player to have roamed up there in the meanwhile. Third X-Cairo is going to be blown up slightly above where one had been done previously to give hot and cold, along with DC himself, a bit more of an angle, and again, they're oblivious. Oh, hello.
Oh, he dropped down like Batman. He scared me, yo. Nice kill from it.
It's like, all right, I'm going to get this trade, but please leave it to me. You boys aren't paying attention to that new Balk. The Wrap coming back in now. Nugs is going to hold his own for the first kill. They are not able to immediately trade it back. BC has a general idea of where he's gone, to the inside of the closet. Doesn't know if he's gone for the full Wrap. Their time is incredibly low. They still have to find the other player left standing, but Nugs finds another pickup here. It's looking like we're going to end up going 1-1 as Mint just doesn't really have a way to get onto the site at this point, let alone start planting that diffuser. So there we go. Time will expire, and Shrug get the second round.
Great job from Nug, finding himself in a 1v2 scenario. A lot of people will panic and struggle in that type of environment, but Nug was able to hold that one position, and by utilizing all the patience in the world, a player walked into his line of sight, he was able to get the free kill, and that was that. But Mint with a drop down kill, have to speak on that again. That was pretty funny. That was hilarious. I didn't expect that at all. But now we have a tied game. Shrug winning their first round here on defense. But Mexican falling early as Maestro, that can't happen often, especially the fact that Shrug twice in a row now has dropped 2 players before DarkZero dropped their first. Something has to change.
The problem with Mexican going down in the first round was that he really just didn't have any support, so his hand kind of got forced.
Yeah.
Things were down to the 3v5, so that's why he dies there. But the last round, just trying to get more aggressive. He just kind of goes for a Hail Mary jump out there, and obviously doesn't go too well, so it's a good thing that Nugs was able to hold in that site there. Otherwise, that probably would have been a lost round. We'd be looking at an easy 2-0 right now for DZ. Right now, DZ is dominating in the early round. Shrug do need to pick things up there, or just pull back, just play more passively, and don't give DZ those opportunities, because at the moment, they're just thriving in it.
The one thing that I really love about DZ during the initial phase, they all call out one player and they team up against him. For each and every single one of the first bloods, a player was pinged out, and they knew exactly where he was, repelled on his side of the window, was able to get the kill. Let's see if they can do it for the 3rd round in a row now that the prep phase is currently over. Cloud Shrug looking to throw a few Valk cams, but it's going to be a waste if he throws them in Will it? I wonder if they're gonna, nah, I doubt they're going to go in a bakery. Yeah, he's going to be all alone here. No, there's 2 people right ahead of him, so hey, maybe he might be able to make a difference.
Not only that, but this is a pretty low trafficked area, so he's going to have plenty of room to maneuver around and obviously do stuff late around here too. He blew the door open, for instance, so you've got a potential for something to happen there. Not loading is going to be able to move out and find that opening kill. Problem is he gets traded immediately afterwards, so the move out the window, or out the door I should say here now, from CloudStrike, if he still went for it, was going to be very obvious, and as such he pulled it away.
Yeah, CloudStrike able to make the rotation and get away as Hyper is going to find his way through Garage. Looking through a little peephole, but he's going to go ahead and run away.
Trying to see if they can catch him on rotate, working his way back over there through laundry. But yeah, he took the other stairs instead, so he's over in the actual cafe now.
All right, so let's see what happens now. Pretty slow gameplay after some heavy action happening at the beginning of the round. One player dropping on both sides. One of them being Thatcher, which is really big for DarkZero, but with Bandit currently being down, you know what? It was an even trade by all means.
So Hyper drops in. We'll start going back to drone work. You can see he's not the only one of 3 players throwing in drones to give them some intel. And here comes the push here now from Hyper. Just going to run right into Christmas. There is not any contestation about this time from Shrug as they play a more default setup here on this site, minus the roaming presence and the aggressive runouts, of course. And now we'll look to try and hold here. Cloud, so that C4, and actually didn't initially have it, but Nyx ended up walking into it. So CloudStrike gets a little bit lucky there in finding that one.
All right, great play coming in from Shrug so far. Currently up a player now, pushing down to almost a minute left in the game. A little bit of pre-fire coming in through the soft destruction, looking through the peephole. Yep, Maestro, get that out of here. Mexican is going to drop once again without making a huge impact in the round. Now, under a minute, this is crunch time. Shrug playing pretty well so far, but with the refract coming, it's even on all sides. CloudStrug, with his aggressive play, has been vital for this team. A Toxic Babe currently in hand. CloudStrug knows where the attackers are coming from. Bit antsy in his movement. Looks like he wants to swing out and make a play.
Hyper looking to try and work his way in through the bar itself too here. 30 seconds left. CloudStrug does take a duel, but he's going to be forced away. And in the meantime, Nugs will re-engage again. Coming in right where he's needed here to save the day. Knocks out BC. Another player will be traded though, and that's going to be Nugs going down right after he finds that opening kill against the duel. CloudStrug, a great adjustment to be able to find hot and cold. And now everything falls down to just Hyper to clutch this out 1v2. Trying to make his push. Again though, time is going to become a huge issue for him. 10 seconds remaining in order to make a play. Wrath trying to stay together with his teammate here to make sure that they don't end up going down, and there you go, finishing it off. They push against Hyper, take him out, and Shrug pick up round number 3.
Taking turns with peeks and pre-fire, Shrug was finally able to get the kill, turned the corner with Ash and a pistol out. Hyper not able to get the clutch, but Shrug currently up by 1 round now. The underdogs that had less than 20% of people voted were going to win the game. Currently up right now. Don't want to jinx him by any means necessary, but DarkZero fighting from behind, starting cold. This has been their MO lately. We saw it happen with, no, it wasn't Rice Station. Saw it happen with Parallax Gaming, sorry about that. And they seem to pick up the pace around the 3rd and 4th round. Can they turn it up a notch now? Hot and Cold was the conductor of the train that was able to start that steamroll process, and he's going to be on Capital this round. We usually see him banned, but now with him in play, it's going to be fun to watch.
Okay, so let's get into it once again. DarkZero struggling a little bit here in this late round situation. Early round still going pretty okay for them. Able to, at minimum, usually trade out evenly and try to keep things down to like 3v3 or something akin to that man spread. But ultimately, pushing into these sites, at least for the last 2 rounds, has become a bit of an issue for them. And they've been getting shut down by a suddenly very passive Shrug here, trying to basically waste the time. So far, that plan has worked out great for them.
CloudStrug, not only on Valkyrie, but also Mozzie, has been a game changer when it came. As Valkyrie, not so much with the Valk cams, but just his roaming presence and the added aggression that he's putting in to each and every site, especially when he was behind bar for the win. Him as Mozzie is a pain. He's always rotating, always running around, always hacking drones. And it gives DarkZero a player that they have to focus so many resources on when it comes to hunting him down. And he's never caught up in one spot. He's always moving around the map, always keeping things dynamic. It's always a new look whenever you're on his POV. So, coming into the action phase, Hyper has a nice little drone. No one's in sight, but knocking down the door, he's gonna pull out that drone and see if he can go ahead and advance a little bit. Claymore currently being placed in mid. He's gonna see if he can go ahead and hunt for pests.
Mint still trying to make sure, of course, that no aggression will be thrown at him if he commits to this push. You can see CloudStrug trying to set up for it, and I think that was Mint's drone that just got stolen away from him over on the other side, so we'll be able to catch that. Not either way, another drone being taken away from these guys, and Shrug just trying to deny as much intel as possible in the early round here. But as you can see, once again, not a whole lot of aggressive posturing as we've been seeing a little bit more of against Rise. They are pretty much just playing into the site and leaving any early round aggression to CloudStrug over inside of trains.
All right, a bit quiet now. 50 seconds over a minute, fancy way to say it. We hear gunfire finally starting to come out and nothing's able to connect. Full HP for every single player. Wrath is going to be on Jaeger, and Nugs, who was quiet last map, has definitely been loud, making plays. And Wraths, even though Hanko was able to get the first shot, Wraths was able to end it with a headshot, winning that gunfight. Had no business winning that at all, but he made it happen. But Nick's creeping around with Ash, the silent step while he's crouched. He's trying to move in and be sneaky to make a huge play.
A really big fucking hole.
All right.
I've never heard Habana say that.
Habana,
I didn't know Habana says that.
I thought it was just some Thermite that
yeah,
said
I only
that.
thought Thermite said that. I never knew Habana said that. That was interesting.
Habana has a potty, though. She wild.
That was fun. All right, well, we're going to see Wrath get taken down. Revenge claimed by Nyx from the earlier loss of their teammate. And again, what was I saying about the early round trades here? Able to constantly bring things down into an even 4v4, 3v3, or something along those lines. But it's getting into the site that once again is going to become a problem for DarkZero. They just sat here. They've got everything they need to execute except info and a way into the site, which is obviously 2 very big things that they are missing.
Yeah, DarkZero, the way they're moving in right now, I would say is pretty good. But now with drone work, they're trying to check all corners before they make this entrance. X-Kairo's currently on the wall, just waiting to detonate. But, you know what? BC with the stall, he's going to pay for it. The banded battery has been put down, and all the X-Kairos have been destroyed. With the stun coming through, Mexican with the Aude, able to pick up 1 kill, but Nyx picks up his double with a nice headshot. Nugs is going to toss a Nitro Cell? Maybe, but the diffuser is going to go down. Nitro Cell going off, but he's going to miss. Now loading, able to get a headshot, but Nyx picks up his third of the round. Make it a 2v2.
The C4 going to get tossed out here. That should take out BC. Nyx going to be able to trade this. We're going into a 1v1 very, very quickly. Cloudstruck just hopping right onto it. Nyx, you got to run. You don't have time for this. Go, 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 go. You're going to get there quicker. No! Yes! Steals the defuse. As unfortunately the last man alive from DarkZero doesn't catch that, he jumps right onto it. And Shrug takes yet another round out of the hands of DZ.
DarkZero was going against Shrug, but their biggest enemy was time right there. And with no time left to go at all, DarkZero were able to get the diffuser down, but they were not able to stop the stop. Shrug, great play coming from all players. It was pretty much a bloodbath towards the end, but that Nitro Cell to kill the guy over the diffuser was ideal. That helped the clutch, and Shrug currently up in 2 rounds against DarkZero. Like I said, we don't want to jinx it, but Shrug, they're looking really strong in this matchup here on defense.
That is the important distinction, though, right?
Yes.
So they are on defense. So we've yet to see how their attack has gone. But again, I was already quite surprised with how good their last map's attack was as well, over I think it was Consulate. So I wouldn't say too much that they're relying on the defensive half to leverage rounds. Like this is like, as long as they even now, right? Like as long as they get 4, 3 might be pushing a little bit. As long as they get 4, I think they're in good hands.
No, I want us to collectively go away from the narrative that like every side is defensive sided, because we've seen matchups, especially like Shrug on Consulate, where even on attack they still overcome the odds and win. I think it's more situational about the teams playing against each other and who's strong on what site. We need to start looking at stats like that. I'm gonna take some time to look at CGG and really dig deep into that, because I feel like it's really interesting in this.
It depends on the caliber of team. From
I agree. I agree. I feel like we overlook that often.
This is something actually that I like, that you kind of analyze a little bit coming from Counter-Strike as well, because I think that the reasoning behind why wins happen is pretty similar from the side's perspective as it is in this game as it is in Counter-Strike. So
yeah, like there's always pros and cons about playing a side on attack or defense, but some teams excel way more than others when it comes to that.
Yeah, it depends on a lot. It depends on experience factors, like what caliber of team you're playing as, what caliber of team you're playing against.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, to be honest. We could sit here and talk about it for hours.
Breach charge set.
All right, so breach charge in hand. Nyx able to open up the hatch, and on Zofia, let's see if he can go ahead and make some huge plays like we've seen in the past. All players currently alive, and it's been pretty quiet so far, but DarkZero, they're moving in fast to get into the building. You hear the explosion, sounds like a Michael Bay film, but Hyper is going to be on Nomad, so the flank denial is going to be strong with the air jabs that he's going to place. We need to see where he plants him at, but Nyx is looking to drop into red, and yeah, there you have it. He's going to move in solo, it looks like.
Oh, nice and steady here. We did see an air jab, I think, got triggered really early here, so Hyper trying to get a bit aggressive with those air jabs as it does connect onto someone, but not really any damage found from that, as all 10 players still at 100 HP here still.
Yeah. All right, Nat loading on Legion. An operator that gets stronger as the time goes by with the goo mines that he's able to generate. The only trap player currently on this team, he's going to be vital to their success if he can stall them out or long enough or able to get a kill or two before he ultimately gets taken out the game. Yeah, look at this long-range battle. Yeah, Nat Loading had no business challenging that with his one's X-Scope, Hyper, able to take him out, and also Mexican is not having a good time on this map right now.
I'm feeling bad for Mexican on this game right now. He's been targeted very heavily, it seems. The problem is, though, he is like playing, he's always in that spot, right? Like, I think that's the 3rd or 4th round now. They've killed him in that spot, right up on top by that window.
Yeah.
So he is playing kind of predictable at this point, which is probably a large part of the reason why he's going down. But you can't help but feel bad for him as he's trying to find those highlights. He's definitely trying to be the star player for this team, but DarkZero does not give those opportunities to him at all.
It's kind of like a give and take situation, because Mexican is so phenomenal when it comes to just entry fragging. Even though DarkZero took away his favorite operator, his best operator, he's had a hard time. I believe he's been either the first blood or he's been top 2 deaths for Shrug at the beginning of every round, I believe, so far. He hasn't had a bright spot yet in this matchup.
He usually doesn't even get like a clutch opportunity to shine, really. He's just kind of taking a duel and then going down.
Yeah, but taking a look at the time right now, there's not much left, and BC is going to go ahead and act on it, taking out Nug. Cloudstruck, a victim as well. It's going to be a 1v5. We've seen clutches and Wraths. He's not going to give him a perfect round, but he's going to get a double kill. There you have it. The plant is currently going down. Is he going to be able to get the wall bang? No, he's not. Yes, looking through the soft destruction, hot and cold, puts Wrath to sleep. And there you have it. DarkZero pulls it out.
I was worried he was going to be able to find the diffuser for a second there, but thankfully DarkZero prevented that from happening. We almost had the 1v5 win on the timer, which would have been a very bad look for DZ, but they do manage to close out there. So we're going to end up 2-3 as we head into the final round of the half now, and an opportunity, of course, for DZ to try and tie this up at 3-3 before they jump on the defense.
Yeah, I really love how Shrug spreads players around the map, though. Even though that they lost that round, they still had a chance to win that out. And they make it really hard for DarkZero to be able to roam the entire map and take everyone out en route to site, which is pretty cool because DarkZero, we always see him at the last second trying to get into sight. Not to get the diffuser down, but to get into sight. Usually we see teams push in with 15 seconds, 20 seconds left to go, but for DarkZero, it seems to always go down within the very last second. It's a close call every single time, but they're still able to pull out the round thanks to great plays all around, most notably BC with the kill behind bar.
So here we go into our next round, our last round of the first half here. Shrug definitely making an impact, but they are not invulnerable. DarkZero still finding a few small opportunities to strike back here. Shrug always seeming to have a possibility of winning it themselves. It made them a very, very scary team to play against, and it's made DarkZero play this attacking side incredibly slow in order to give respect to Shrug.
10 seconds to
Yep.
go.
So, for those of you that are just tuning in or tuning into the stream not too long ago, this is a best of 1, the last game of the night. The winner of this will move on to the next stage where they will be able to battle it out to play, to get an invite to go to the LAN finals here at the end of the year. But one more round to go, we'll be able to swap sides. We've seen a lot of success from Shrug on attack. They'll be on that after this round. They've done pretty well on defense so far, and DarkZero, they fought back to be down just by 1 round. I wonder if things are going to be tied up by the time that this round currently ends. So here we are on Repel, Hyper, with a little bit of drone action. It's going to make sure Piano/Christmas is free to enter, but there's going to be a lot of roaming on this end, especially down this hallway. It's going to be hard to get by.
Time still ticking down quite effectively here in DarkZero once again, as they've been playing pretty much this entire half. Perfectly fine to take their time with this one, but they've already got Christmas control, which is a great start, considering that Shrug had been actively contested there at the beginning of the half, but quickly moved away from it. So now, you've got players like Hyper already in position, still with 2 minutes left in the round, as some of the others trying to take positions. You've got players like Not Loading as well, that are going to try to throw a spanner in the works here and hopefully catch a few guys dropping down into red, but that's a big miss from Not Loading. It's going to be very premature and trying to Nitro cell out those players, so it will miss.
Yep, the Xcaros were successful over at top red. Still, pretty quiet. All players still up. Now 1 bit of HP taken from anybody just yet. No serious gunfights, but Mexican might get into one soon. He's had an extremely cold start this matchup, despite being the star of the last game that he played in. But as Maestro, he is unable to gain any type of momentum at all. Cloudstruck, he's been a star roamer for this team, always playing underneath or above. He's been the playmaker, but let's see if he has what it takes this time to go ahead and throw DarkZero off their heels to go ahead and destroy their strat here on attack. Yeah, he's pretty much almost underneath BC, but with the drone coming towards him, I'm pretty sure they know exactly where Cloud is now.
Minute remaining here. DarkZero again going to be pushing the timer down to its bare minimum more than likely before they actually attempt the execute. Nyx is in fact going to run into a different position here, probably going to re-engage for another hatch. Camera here is going to be able to find Cloudstruck as he takes a couple shots in order to get rid of it, but they do find out where Cloudstruck is hiding, and that was one piece of intel that I think they were missing up until this point. Ooh, last minute Black Eye camera going to be thrown up there as well hopefully gives him a bit more vision and can actually let him pre-fire that a bit. Mix with the hot breach though, in he goes. He's going to try to take out the Maestro. Hello? Mexican, did you even see what was happening there? Apparently not, as he walks right in. Mint also able to find some impact, but Nugs is trading this back 2 for 2. Finds both BC and another player. He will finally get knocked out by Mint, but now we're in the 3v2. DarkZero with an advantage. However, only 15 seconds left.
And this is downfall with Shrug being underneath, throwing a C4, but it's not going to connect. Way off the mark. 2 seconds left to go, and yes, DarkZero, they're able to get the objective down. This is crunch time. 3v2. Great operators on both sides. But with gunfire going out, Hyper! He had the jump on Wrath, but Wrath was able to get the win. Now it's going to be a 2v2. Oh my god, currently going to fight. If he turns the corner, oh my god, the pre-fire coming, he's able to peek and get the kill. Now it's going to be a 1v1. It's going to be up to Wrath. Oh my god, the pre-fire was almost on point. Unable, unsure of where to go. Bit of a panic. He's able to find where the diffuser is, knows where the gunshots are currently coming from. But with the fake, can he make this happen? Time is running down. He's running for the kill, but DarkZero is able to come out with the win. Great shot from Hanko with Buck, and he's able to win it out. That came down to the wire. Wow.
Once again, man, we've had so many close rounds between this one and the last one. Shrug are making these last 2 games of the day fun at a minimum. Unfortunately, though, they've lost their edge, and now they've lost their lead, as this is going to be tied up 3-3 before we switch sides. Shrug now goes on to the attack. DarkZero goes on to the defense. And it's anybody's guess as to where the game goes from here.
That was so unfortunate. So in that 1v1 loss, he almost got the wall bang, and it looked like a bit of a hesitation that wasted about 4 good seconds off the clock, which in Siege is a lifetime. So unfortunately, he was unable to come out for the win, thanks to the wraparound pre-fire coming in from DarkZero. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a game, and now we have roles swapped. Shrug on attack, DarkZero on defense. Mexican. I don't know if he took his headset off or whatever, but when that breach on Repel came in, he had no idea there was a player to the right of him.
I think he might have known, but he might have made a deliberate choice to ignore it temporarily.
Like tunnel vision? Not
necessarily tunnel vision, more just he can't push me yet safely, so he's probably gonna wait, and I'll focus on killing. He probably had someone peeking him from like Cigar, and he was just focused on that. Would be my guess.
Yeah, no. He definitely has somebody in his line of sight. He was trying to work on for the kill, but he was just completely oblivious to the player that came in from that jump in.
The thing is to remember too is that was a hot breach. So
yeah.
He may not have heard the swing, and he may have thought that the window just got blown up, but no one actually came in yet. That's another possibility.
True.
Too.
True. All right, so Hanko's gonna be on Valkyrie. One more black eye to go. Looks like he's pretty much gonna save it. Yeah, he's not able to see anybody. I'm not sure what he was trying to do with the run out or whatnot, but a bit of droning coming in from Shrug. We saw a lot of aggression coming from their end. Not afraid to run in the side and go out guns blazing like a team of 5 Rambos. So it's going to be interesting to see the change of pace this time around.
It's an interesting change of pace, first of all, that we got DarkZero going to the first floor first as well. So just trying to see if they can get some of these offsites before they end up going back to the 3rd floor, want to maybe close out there or something like that. So DarkZero so far doing good, though, as they've already been able to find Wrath, so he goes down. We end up in a 5v4 here. But at the same time, Nugs tries to up the pace a little bit with an early breach on the prep kitchen wall there, but is not going to be able to find it. Gets tricked out by the defenders.
Yeah,
which that's going to be a wasted charge.
It's pretty interesting knowing that they were droning out that area before he even attempted to put that exothermic charge there. Yeah, they just didn't account for the bandit being in arm's reach from that wall to go ahead and put a battery down. So, bit of wasted utility on the end of Shrug, and now they're pretty much at a standstill. They don't look like they know how to attack. And take a look at all the roamers right now. Han Code and also Nyx.
Is that a default cam, by the way?
I believe so. It's raining nitro cells, even though they're 0 for 2. I mean, the presence is still there. The threat is still there.
I think that is a default cam. They just forgot to shoot it, which is like a really big deal because they have amazing vision onto them right now, if that's the case.
All right. A lot of quiet time right now as we're now pushing down almost to the 1 minute mark. But Hyper is going to go ahead and get rid of Cloud Shrug. It's going to be 2 down for Shrug. It's pretty rough here. All right, there we go. A little bit of life coming in from Mexican now as he's able to get a kill on Hyper. Let's see if he can continue to keep it up. This Maestro, that wasn't a play for him, but on attack, he feels more comfortable running around and just being free with his gun. The 1-speed operator just didn't seem to fit his style of play.
Mexican here now, trying to wrap back around here, find any type of entry. point that he can for the rest of his team to work off of. Oh no,
Wow.
we're going to see BC take him out when he tries to throw in the stun charge. The stun charge actually goes off too. It connects on the BC, but unfortunately he finds that headshot right before the implosion hits. Another failed breach charge was used in the process of that from Shrug. Now, so they are out. They do not have any more hard breach. They've got to go in through that main door and maybe try to push prep.
Yeah, this is worrisome. There's absolutely no pressure going on with the traps in play. Nugs gets called out with the diffuser going down on him, and the goo mine still stuck in his foot. But now loading, he's going to be all alone. 1v4.
And a little bit of calisthenics before he pushes in there with a quick little crouch up and down. But ultimately, yeah, just got to commit himself to this. And DarkZero shut it down yet again. And now take the lead coming off into the second half.
Absolutely the most lackluster round we've seen Shrug in so far. The explosiveness wasn't there, and the two early deaths that were handed to him from DarkZero, I mean, they just didn't seem to have an answer. They were slow when it came to getting into sight, and they were, it looked like they really didn't have a real plan to get into sight. The failed drone play with the exothermic charge to see if Bandit was there was a huge L, and I don't know, I wasn't used to seeing that type of pace coming from them. But now we're going to go to second floor, which gives them a lot more freedom. One thing that was also a big worry, roam presence was at an all-time high. I mean, how many nitro cells do we see flying in from the top floor to try to get a kill?
Yeah, and that was a default cam though that they had been looking at them with for like the longest time. So I think it's pretty interesting that it took Shrug that long to realize that was the reason why those C4s were getting chucked out against them.
Right, it's like, come on, man.
They just had free vision onto them for I think like a minute straight from a default cam. If any of them ran in and died as a result of that, that's the reason, is because that cam was up.
Like, there was so much that went wrong. Like, if you can't go straight into kitchen from downstairs, like head on, you work in from the first floor, and you shoot down, you make some openings, especially back towards the freezer. We didn't see any of that, none of that. They just tried to come in from bakery, and that was really it. We need to see more dynamic gameplay coming from Shrug that we're used to seeing. But now, DarkZero Esports are going to be up for the first time in this game. It's going to be 4-3. A little bit of reconstruction coming in from Mint and Super Shiny right now to open in some line of sights, and let's see if they put that to use with the Pest going out as well to hack a drone. This defense, they're looking to be undefeated so far.
Just a little bit of an angle to work from here in the event that Shrug goes in through Christmas, which is a possibility. We are playing on the second floor though, and it is going to be the mining site, not the reading room that we saw Shrug try to play into. So a little bit of a different lineup needed for that one, and as we saw, that will require some presence on the upstairs part of the map too. Shrug, in the meantime, going to head upstairs themselves and probably start to work their way in from Christmas, which is the setup that DarkZero had established. Also, Hyper taking some damage early on as he tries to peek the window, but thankfully he's done, so he can heal that right back up.
Yeah, he can do that. As long as he doesn't get a headshot, then he's going to be A-okay. Yeah, they're still flirting with danger right now. BC, especially on Legion. I wonder what they have planned at the moment. But Hyper, with a little bit of melee holes, he's going to be able to see underneath and
He's trying to heal hot and cold.
Hot and cold.
Come on, let's see this. Team synergy.
Move up. Easy. There we go. The Mozzie had to come in
Who needs
to
to
make
rotate?
sure it was opened up. Exactly.
In the meantime, we will see the wall into Christmas get opened up here by Shrug, and this will start their push forward to try and clear out some of the defenders up here. Long way to go, though, and they need to clear the rest of this out as well and still leave themselves enough time to push into oil itself, which I believe is going to be their site of choice. Then I'll start to make progress towards this. And actually, it's looking like Hyper didn't move from the spot, just moved further back into the corner so as to not get peeked from the window and the noob out at the same time. So he's still safe back there, if only temporarily.
I know Mexican, he's probably still tilted that Twitch is gone. So I'm going to go ahead and chalk that up to him, his slow start right now. But he's still alive on Zofia. A lot of fragging capability on his end and great utility. But Cloud Shrug with the ping, I wonder what his floor maybe?
They haven't droned in a while, so they still think people are back here.
I was going to say, I want to pay more attention to their drones because they're moving extremely slow, as if they're highly unaware of where anybody is on the map right now.
So they missed the fallback from DZ. Both Hot and Cold and Hyper were able to make it back to the site successfully. So at the moment, Shrug are kind of like aimlessly wandering upstairs trying to figure out what the next step is here, and it's got to be the execute here. They've been able to clear out the roaming presence, but they didn't actually kill anyone. So it's a little bit confusing now as they have to figure out how exactly to approach this in a 5v5 situation. Even punching holes downstairs in a reading room is not going to do a whole lot for him here. Hot and Cold able to strike finally, able to take out their Thatcher as well. I mean, that's going to cause problems for any hard breach situations. Thankfully, I don't think it's entirely necessary for this site. Mexican,
okay,
finally on the board here now as he manages to catch Hyper, but it's a very heavy cost to his own HP as he's down to just a single sliver of health now.
Yep, and with the 9-4 now, we're looking at 4v4, and an altercation as currently being pressed, hot and cold on the red stairs, flirting with danger. Diffuser currently going down with only 10 seconds left to go, and Shrug is going to get the best of hot and cold with the skeleton keys. Now, 3v2. It's going to be up to DarkZero to go ahead and take this win. It's in their hands, but make it a 2v2 now. Nick's able to get a kill on Ravs, and Shrug is going to be all alone. Able to connect the first shot. He missed the rest, and here it is. The counter defuse is going to be in play, and DarkZero, they're going to walk away with the win and the 2-round lead against Shrug. The Cinderella story seems to be coming to an end slowly but surely. As Shrug, they failed to be successful on attack. With a lack of drone presence and intel gathered on their side, they seem to be moving slower than ever. They look unsure of themselves, and they don't look like the team that we saw last round. And I'm not gonna chalk it up to the lack of veteran play from both teams, or one team being in Pro League, another one being Challenger League. It just seems like Shrug is just honestly lost. Like the skill is there. I don't know if it's the IGL or just the game plan.
Going off of that last round, it definitely seems like things are starting to kind of fall to pieces a little bit here for Shrug, and it's looking like DarkZero really wants to kind of like put the nail in the coffin with the Clash pick coming in here as well for our third floor play. Really going to try and just cause issues for Shrug. Even if they deal with the Clash relatively quickly, it's just a frustration that's going to distract you for a large part of the round. I think it was DarkZero when we had Nix in here, I think, for the interview before. I was saying that they like banned out Thermite on their initial map to kind of mess with their opponents a little bit, cause them to think a bit more and throw off their game. This is kind of something similar, I think, with the Clash pick coming in. It's not entirely necessary, but it's really just gonna it's just gonna piss Shrug off a little bit more, which I think is what they're going for at this point.
All right, so let's see what can happen. Let's see if we can string up a few wins, go ahead and tie things up. Was a close game throughout the entirety of the series, with the exception of the last 2 rounds. But DarkZero, they seem to pick things back up. But with Clash coming into play, yeah, coming into piano is going to be hell. Mint can frustrate Shrug upon entry of third floor, if he plays his cards right. But with the default cam currently in use, we know Shrug, they don't like to shoot those out.
Let's see how many players go out before it gets shot.
I'm going to I doubt they shot that. Okay.
All right, come on. Third time's the charm. There you go.
Like noodle arm in it, man. Come on.
I really want to know if that default cam is still up.
Right, exactly.
Can we look at it? Yeah. Check it out from here.
Can you zoom in?
They didn't shoot it!
Flynn, get your boys. Get your boys, Flynn. So yeah, the default cam is in play. You see a player on DarkZero is currently utilizing it. So they know that players on Shrug are currently on Repel, trying to get in the third floor. So it's going to be all about the attack so far.
Thankfully, that default cam is not going to be the end of the world this time, and it technically wasn't the end of the world when they didn't shoot it before, but just triggers me,
Yeah, no altercations just yet, though.
Let's see a Claymore get thrown down by Mexican here, just to make sure no one tries to give him a taste of his own medicine from what he was trying to do back on the other half here. We are going... Actually, I thought that drone would tie to the explosion. I was a little bit nervous there for a sec, but not loading survives it, and now will be able to drone out Kitchen. In a moment, they're going to find the Clash, and that's when things have to slow down by quite a bit.
All right.
Actually, they might just be able to rush her a little bit, so we'll see how they play this, because they got the Zofia.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to force a fight on these balconies right here. And Shrug, they have the guns for the occasion, and Mint's just going to be sitting pretty at the moment.
Yeah, he's just going to hold this door. They try to push white stairs. Nope, not going to happen. And then I think he's got Nix behind him there to watch the window. Oh, okay.
Okay, Mexican.
Never mind.
Yo, hold on there. Go ahead and make it happen.
On that window, I guess? Yeah, he had to have been on that window. Just owns them both through the window. I thought that's why they had Nix there, but apparently not.
Mexican doing work right now. Clash is out of play, and BC is going to hold the corner. The Nix with the nice long-range shot is Doc. You see him with an extra bit of health, utilizing a stim pistol on himself to make sure that he's guaranteed to win that gunfight. But Mexican working on his third. My man is starting to heat up now.
He's just a repel player. That's what we didn't realize.
Right. He takes switch away and he brings something else to the mix.
Put him on a window. Things are different.
All right. BC still with patience and a shotgun in hand. He's just waiting for his first victim. But Hyper with the nice rotation, able to take out Wrath.
He's got 2 stim shots as well, so he can probably get back to full HP, but he's got to worry about a player over here on Defender Balcony. However, he's got charges and he's behind cover. Oh, just got behind cover again here. He's trying to repeat. I don't think he realized they pushed through the door in the meantime. He's got the off angle for this one. Nugs is going to be able to take out his only other teammate here too. Down to the 1v3, stuck in a corner. Plant's going down in the meanwhile. Thinks he can spot that somehow. He knows the second he uncrouches, though, they're going to spot him. Tried to go for the first one there. He is stuck between a rock and a hard place. I personally don't see a way Hyper's battling out of this one. And indeed, Cloudstruck will finally catch him as Shrug take round number 9.
He pulls out a stim pistol and he's like, yeah! And then that's just it. Shrug able to fight back from that, and that was an extremely close fight. But you know what, man? Gotta credit where credit is due. Mexican, he showed back up. My man finally woke up. He woke up and turned on his monitor, and that 3K helped Shrug will out that win. They're down by 1 round now. DarkZero still looking for those last 2 wins to close out this map. Can they do it? Or can Shrug fight back to even the odds? Let's see.
DarkZero thinking they had control to be able to go for the clash pick, but unfortunately, the window play there from Mexican saved his team. Not only that, but gave them amazing access to the site and basically let them in, so he deserves all the credit for the victory on that last run. DarkZero, though, starting to have some of the sites they won before get unlocked, so they're heading back downstairs now to the first floor. This is where they did leave that default cam unshot and allowed for DarkZero to play around with them a little bit outside. Didn't lead to a whole lot, at least as far as we could tell, but it did slow down Shrug quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Hyper's play as well. Hyper is really, coming to his own in this match, but he's pretty much owned it. Hyper has made statements in every single gunfight that he's been in, just about. But him on Mozzie, is statistically the best player in NA last Pro League. This is fitting. Have him roam around, let him play his own game and do as he wish. With Hana Cold right next to him, you can... this is going to be a scary duo, and they're going to go for a spawn peek.
Oh, just taking the window off. Let's see Hyper. Taking the challenge. Isn't going to find anyone from the other side of it, though. It's not looking like it. I don't have any silhouettes to work with. I think he's got someone slightly below him to his left, but it's not at the angle he's taken. So he'll back away and probably head back downstairs.
Yeah, they're going to give up on that and go ahead and rotate right back around to help out their teammates. So, Shrug able to avoid a spawn peek scenario. Cloudstruck is going to pretty much check out small bakery, maybe bakery, and see if it's safe for him to go ahead and run in. We saw them play on this bottom site before, and this is where Shrug really struggled. They didn't have a plan B. They all tried to go through bakery, and it failed. They failed to get rid of the roamers that were on top floor, and DarkZero, we know that there's 2 of them up there. If they can go ahead and make this rush really fast, they might not have to worry about them. But with the exit thermic charge now being successful, yeah, they're learning from their mistakes now.
No, the camera, look. They still didn't shoot it. Wraths and Mexican, though, are going to be able to find entries. They don't need to shoot that camera. They can shoot their opponents, because they're going to take out both Hyper and Hot and Cold.
I love it. They hunt down Valk cams every single round, but they can't get rid of default.
I don't know why this one default cam isn't being shot.
Take a minute to get rid of a Valk cam, but default cam, let it stay.
It's one of those times where I'm like, am I missing something?
BC able to cop a headshot for an eye, and Shrug still going to be up 1 player. So even though Thermite's gone, still great utility on their end with the MP currently going down. There's going to be no more hard breach. So, is it really going to matter?
Nick's going to strike next here. Brings us back down into an even situation of 3v3. Cloud with a little bit of a random spam to try and find the trade, but his opponent is nowhere near there. Mint, I think, drops on top of Mexican to be able to find him. Goomba stops him. That's an easy one for Cloudstruck, though, to get on the trade. BC just laying down in front of him down below through those floorboards, and that's going to keep us even yet again into a 2v2. Maybe the potential to go even further down here. Nyx has the angle. Good trigger discipline. No, doesn't spray into it just yet. Waits till he has the angle needed, and there you go. Cloudstruck goes down, and now it's all on not loading with about 15 HP left.
And Cloudstruck was working it from upstairs, and he was able to get taken out. So now it's going to be able to not loading in his 1 HP. Not much going to happen right now as he has to play extremely careful. Oh, he knows where both players are, by the way. Can he clutch it? We've seen it happen.
It's good intel. He's going to try to get aggro, though, in order to make it happen. He could actually span through that wall. That's a soft wall right there.
Okay.
He obviously doesn't know this, though. Finds a corner. He does need to plant. That's the thing. And he knows that his opponents aren't going to push him. Halfway through it, they can't catch him from right here. Does stop, but he hears a bit of movement. Nade goes in. Not going to catch him, though. Time getting low. They already know it's a fake, so he's going to have to recommit to it at some point. He was really hoping they push it, but there was no reason why they would do it. This is just going to go to timer if he's not careful, and if not, he'll be locked into a defuse that he can't let go of. Here we go. He is inside of it, but he's now locked in that animation. He can't let go. He actually, I think, is going to get now. Never mind. Mint denies it at the last second, and there we go. DarkZero pick up another round. Just one more away now, closing out on the match.
So the thing about a scenario like that, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, if it's a 1v2 and you have 1 HP left, you have to try to either just work for the kills or you have to get the plant before the last, 5 seconds, last 7 seconds come around. If you wait until the very last second, I mean, you put yourself in a position where it's like, okay, you know what, now I'm going to be stuck in this animation where I'm trying to put down the diffuser. They're just going to hunt me down. I have no chance of clutching it out. If you at least go for it earlier, you still get a chance. So, hey, you miss every shot you don't take. I would have tried to drop it right then and there because I don't think that they were really sure of where he was at all. But he knew where they were. That was the difference in that scenario. And he was as far as possible in order to make that plant. So, rough 1v2
Attackers need to locate and
for
defuse as many
Shrug.
bombs as they can.
But DarkZero pulled ahead. They're on series points. This can be it.
Chance for DarkZero to go through quite early into their conference playoffs this time. Their conference qualifier, excuse me, to make it through into the LAN finals. DarkZero are looking likely to take the first spot here for the East Coast in Stage 3. Just one more round stands between them and that. Shrug now need the next 2 consecutively just to trigger OT, having only 2 more after that as well, if they still want the win here. If not, we'll hopefully be seeing them again on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure DarkZero are going to be ecstatic after this win. They've been in a scenario before. I remember they dropped a clip of when they finally won the final game on one of these Eastern or Western qualifiers, and everybody literally stopped and started like praising the Lord, like we finally did it. USN curse is over.
Didn't they win it on that really
it was a rough
funny
game,
shield
too.
round too or something like that?
It was
Yakety Sax round.
Yeah.
Where they just had it was a 1v1 and one was the Montaigne and they already had a plant. And it was just like, well, you're not winning this one.
They've been battle tested, man. It's pretty insane. So them pulling out this win, I mean, they need it, first off. They weren't, oh no, not loading.
Oh, he peeked into it again too.
Right, hot and cold. He flirted with the gunfire and, flirted with the altercation and he was able to walk away from it. Unfortunately, he really wasn't
Marcy, we have a very important camera to check, by the way. Thank you. I need to know.
Let it still be.
I think they shot it.
They
oh my
shot
god,
it.
I think they shot it.
Yes! They're going to win this round now.
They finally shot the camera.
That's the difference.
After 3 rounds of not shooting it.
They're learning, Blue.
All right.
Progress.
Thank you, Marcio. I appreciate that. But into the engagement we will go as they bust open the wall into kitchen, or excuse me, into Christmas. That will allow them to start taking a bit more control.
Slowly but surely, Mexican. Checking the perimeter at the moment. There's going to be a roamer right above him. 1:30 seconds left, and Shrug's biggest struggle, or I don't even know if they're even trying to hunt him down, it's just their own play. DarkZero, they've been able to do whatever they want. Whatever they want here on the top floor.
Drone activated.
Yeah, Mint knows he's there. You see Mint starting to run away now. Yeah, Mint got out of there, and he's able to get the kill on Shrug. Nice rotation and kill.
Going down to the wire here now. Last minute remaining here for Shrug. Without their buck, unfortunately, trying to get a little bit more intel is going to be difficult. You still do have the IQ. I didn't catch if she had breaching charges or not, though, and it does not look like she does. She brought a Claymore. So we're going to see the rest of the team start working their way downstairs here. Try to get into position and get ready for the execute. They seem to have all the intel they need. They're just trying to get on drones here for the last second before they finally commit to something. But again, this is the problem, though. They're just trying to figure things out, and they can't be trying. They have to do at this point in the game.
Oh.
Nice duel taken there by Mexican. He is able to win out, but the immediate trade, he runs into a wall, comes in from Mint, and that brings us back down into a 4v3. Plant coming in from Nug, so because DarkZero have the passive hold and this impacts go in, they are not going to be able to drop the diffuser, but BC himself gets the job done. A double kill, in fact, from him as he also finds not loading everything on Rats. He's surrounded. down to just a sliver of HP remaining, and the time is now against him. Nyx just takes the duel with a pistol. He will lose that, but it's a small consolation at this point. This is over, ladies and gentlemen, and DarkZero Esports are coming out on top and taking the first spot in the Conferenc qualifier for the East Coast of Stage 3 for US. And big congrats to them as they will be moving on to the next stage of this event.
At least Shrug can say, hey, we got this far with the sub.
4 rounds on DarkZero, right?
That's
in the first time
impressive.
you made it this far in a USN tournament. Still a lot to be proud of today for Shrug, just obviously a little bit too short, too late.
Yeah, take a look at the new skins, by the way. The Navi on Rug and also the Rogue Jaeger. But yeah, DarkZero, they're going to win 7-4, and I feel really bad for Shrug. I feel really bad. They're really unable to find their footing. They were unable to get comfortable on both sides. You saw Mexican with an extremely cold start on Maestro. I don't know if it was a change in roles and pace that was expected from his type of play style and performance, but it wasn't the same. We all saw a switch up once he was on Zofia. He was able to make some kills, but Cloudstruck and the rest of the guys, hard-fought battle, great games all around. Do not put your heads down because, man, no one expected you guys to make it this far and play so well.
I think for Mexican specifically, it was so tough for him because he seemed to be almost a hard target for DZ a lot of these rounds. To be fair, a lot of that was his own fault. A lot of that was him taking duels either very early or just getting incredibly aggressive, like a window jump out or something like that. So a lot of that was his own fault, like right there. He ends up over-peaking a little bit, not realizing it. But, you know, as I was saying, DarkZero did have a very large focus on taking him out at the beginning of the round because they knew he was going to be playing into that window position.
I mean, how many times though did we see Shrug? No, we saw Shrug lose 2 rounds that were easily winnable, this being one of them. And it was pretty unfortunate, especially Cloudstruck when he almost killed the diffuser underneath him. Actually, there were 3 rounds that Shrug, I'm not going to say they threw it away or they choked it. It just didn't fall in their favor. I wouldn't call it a choke because they played extremely well to come back and win, to be able to clutch these scenarios, but
which
it just didn't happen.
Again, for this type of team this early on is not too surprising. That's going to happen, I think, for these types of teams this early on. Because they're going to make those mistakes where like they just haven't been in that type of a situation before, so they don't, they're not ready for some type of crazy flank or some other, unexpected play. These are all things you learn with time as a team. You take notes down, you're like, okay, this is what happened here. We watch the demo, we figure out what went wrong. Now let's make sure that doesn't happen again. In the next match, hey, it doesn't. They block it off the next time. They win that round, and then they slowly start to patch those holes up and become a really solid team over time. These are how teams develop at the end of the day. So
I completely agree. But ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into the interview with the winning team. Somebody from DarkZero, I believe is going to be Nyx. Nyx, hi again, man. I'm not going to lie, Nyx. In that matchup, it was extremely close earlier on. Playing against Shrug, we don't have a lot of experience playing against a team like that. What's your initial thoughts about just how that team played? I mean, we didn't expect them to play so well, man. I feel like they have a lot of potential in the future.
Yeah, for sure. They came out pretty strong. I think we lost the first 2 rounds. I could be wrong on that, but I think we lost the first 2. And honestly, not gonna discredit them at all, but we were getting picked early and making a lot of mistakes on our part, and they were capitalizing on that, and they played really well. But I take a lot of the rounds that they got early on mistakes from our part, not really from them outplaying us. So, like I said, not gonna discredit them all. They're a great team, and they played really well. So. Yeah,
I would say that DarkZero, you guys played extremely slow and not so well within the first 2 to 3 rounds until you guys are about to warm up. Is there a reason for that? Or is there something that you guys are currently trying to fix within the team?
No, not really. I mean, maybe just slow day, something like that. Team has been looking better than ever. Scrim has been going really well, so we're just maybe just a slow start to the map. I don't know. We came through it in the end, so that's all that matters.
Is USN harder than Pro League?
Is USN harder than Pro League? Sometimes it feels like it. Sometimes it feels like it. Losing to Parallax 8-7 on Coastline one time, losing to Hat Academy, or Hat, I guess, back in the early days. We're losing games out here, so it's rough. It's rough.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, Nyx. Like your team, you guys are on the up and up. Trying to get better in your LAN performance, especially online here in Pro League and here in USN. We've seen a lot of progression coming from you guys. But with the last question of the day, I want to keep it real. Keep it real with me. Was Twitch a target ban?
Twitch a target ban? Yeah, I mean. We watched Consulate against Rise, and Mexican had that 4K that one round, and he seemed like he was pretty nuts on Twitch. So they banned Jackal, and we're like, let's just get it out of here. Don't want to deal with it. Yeah. And I don't know what he played. I don't know what op. I think he played the IQ.
Zofia.
The rest of the game, or Zofia. Okay.
Yeah.
So he still played. I think he still played really well, but yeah, it was definitely a target ban.
Listen, Knicks, I'm so excited for you guys to go ahead and make it to this point again. But you know what, man? I expect nothing but greatness from you guys, to be quite honest. I wish you guys luck throughout the entirety of this whole USN qualifier. I cannot speak. It's so early in the day. I wish you guys the best luck here at USN. I hope you guys make it to land. Oh, congrats on you winning. I'll see you next time, all right?
Thanks, Philly.
No problem. I'm just so tongue-tied right now. It's
We're
the
almost
end
there,
of the day.
We're almost there. We got one more segment here.
When I jump out that Uber, I'm falling straight to sleep. Like, that's just going to be it. But that was a pretty impressive win from DZ. Shrug put in a great fight. I want to see him again.
I think we will, and I think it's very likely we'll see them make it. But before we talk too much about what's to come in the future, it's time to talk about our MVPs from the past. Veli, who was your MVP from that match?
Hot and cold. And that just
jump right into it, why don't you?
Yeah. Not just for that map, but just for the entirety of just the entire night of playing. Hot and cold has been the reason why they really caught heat and won a lot of rounds. Whether it came from entry, whether it came from racking up to 2Ks or 3Ks for the win, Hot and cold was the brick wall that Shrug kept running into whenever they tried to chase that win. He's my MVP, definitely.
Well, I said at the beginning of the match that we had a little bit of a slower, not terrible, a little bit of a slower performance from him in the first match, and I think we saw him improve this moving into the second match. It was Hyper who did very well,
yes.
I think, in that matchup there, and I'd call him out to improve, and I think he did very well. So we'll see his stats here in a second. On 11-11 overall, they're pretty close to the top of the scoreboard for the rest of his team. Also 2-0s on entry, which is the important part there as well, not faltering in that respect when push came to shove. Very, very important indeed. So he's my pick for our final match of the night.
All right, pretty sure we're going to show up the full stats soon. And like I said, great play coming from both teams. Pretty much a hard game coming from that loading. Wasn't on his point of view a lot, so I don't have a lot of criticism for him at all. But Nugs was really good the first half of the map. Mex did well. It took him a while to warm up. Wrath did well, and I'm really impressed with Cloudstruck. Cloudstruck as a roamer is pretty good.
Yeah, no, he's very aggressive, and most importantly, at least when he was on
he's hard to track.
Yeah, when he was on Mozzie specifically, back on the other map, like his utility usage as well is really good.
It's so
Mozzie,
good.
He was getting so many drones, and I don't know if that was because of their opponents. I don't know if that's because of Ryze and DZ like messing up and running into them enough, or if he's just using different spots than normal, and he's catching them as a result of that. But his Mozzie play was really good back on console.
2 rounds that last map. Cloudstruck almost clutched a 1v3 and a 1v2 by shooting through soft destruction in the floor to kill the person that's planting the diffuser. If he would have got that, who knows? Shrug probably would have won.
We had that like 1v3 from not loading as well. That he technically won the 1v3 and then he just didn't have enough time for the defuse. So that was like really cool as well. Unfortunately, he had a little bit of a quieter game this time, but still a lot of promise come from that team. So it's gonna be very exciting to see if they're able to play in the future. And hey, maybe we can get Flynn a visa and he can jump in and then this will be a real fun broadcast. I can guarantee you that. But that's gonna do it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We're gonna be back live next Tuesday once again with the Western Conference, the next stage of this one as we try to qualify a second team for those conference qualifiers, but we will also be here on Monday for Inside the USN. That'll be over on the Rainbow Six YouTube channel, though. We won't be doing that live. So make sure you tune in for that on Monday, and if not, we'll see you again next Tuesday for more action on USN.